EPAWA meteorologist Bobby Martin here with your outlook for September 30th, 2022. It is the final day of the month, and it's been one heck of a week here with this tracking of this hurricane. Still going to be making a second landfall again today, somewhere between Charleston and Myrtle Beach is what the consensus is of most guidance here. But this has been a persistent thing we had to talk about for a while, and it's actually going to give us some remnant showers and periods of rain out of this for parts of our region through the next couple of days. And we're going to try to highlight those time frames that we're going to be dealing with, the rain and the most likely periods and the most likely areas in today's video. And then we'll adjust again if we need to with the weekend video forecast on Saturday morning. So first and foremost, the Friday video forecast is sponsored by McCall Collective Brewing. McCall is a family-owned and operated business with two locations in the Lehigh Valley. Their original Southside Allentown location at 102 East Susquehanna Street is open 7 days a week and features a full food menu, over 17 different beers to choose from, local wine and cocktails. And their newest location, McCall Collective Tap House in Trexlertown, located at 7743 Hamilton Boulevard. You can find 10 beers on draft, along with a house-smoked barbecue menu that is open 6 days a week. For more information, visit their Facebook page, or to place online orders, visit their website, mccallcollectivebrewing.com. Proud sponsors of the Friday video forecast. So this is a look at the GFS projection for landfall for Ian. This is the second landfall. Now, the National Hurricane Center sent the hurricane hunters in there last evening, and they found the storm was a little bit stronger. So it did go across the Florida Peninsula, made landfall 150 mile per hour Cat 4, moved across and exited it as a 65 mile per hour tropical storm. It then the very next advisory was upgraded to a hurricane once again with 75 mile per hour. Actually, two advisories after that, but I think it was yesterday afternoon. It was back to a hurricane again, and now it is a more formidable Category 1 hurricane with 85 mile per hour winds. The official National Hurricane Center forecast before landfall is now 90 mile per hour. Now, 90 miles per hour, that is still a Category 1. You need to get to 96 or higher for Category 2, but that's impressive that it was able to maintain its inner core and keep going. Here is the European model projection, very close to that, maybe a little bit southwest of the GFS forecast, so they're pretty close, okay? So there's really GFS, European model, they're pretty close on that same landfall point. Here's that system that is spinning here. Now, this is going to keep looping here, but center of circulation is actually sitting right here. So all of the rain and the highest cloud tops are all have been north of the system up here. This is where it's been. And the southern end has a lot of dry air and shear coming in from this direction. So it's surprising that this was able to re-intensify. I know it's over the warmer Gulf Stream here, but you're right. You have some dry air and shear working into this circulation. So this is not going to be something that will just suddenly explode into a Category 3 hurricane or something like that before landfall. For one reason, it's, again, it's center circulation is right here. And it's you're going to run out of real estate before it. I mean, it doesn't have much further to go before it hits land again here in coastal South Carolina. So once it does make landfall, however, we are expecting a post-tropical transition rather quickly, because it's going to go right over the Appalachians and the Piedmont, and this is going to be kind of shredding it apart very quickly. Okay, so we're not expecting it to remain a hurricane for very long. It's going to quickly, as it goes across the Carolinas, it's going to quickly go to tropical storm status and then depression and then post-tropical, okay? Now, with this, we talked about this comma head yesterday's video here. When this is in this transition period, you get this comma head here like that. So we're going to get part of that, and that's the rain we're going to get. So the main system's going to continue up in this direction like this, and it's going to become disjointed from this. And this is going to rotate our through area, become two separate pieces. And we're going to get the first piece coming in overnight tonight, and that's going to go into at least Saturday morning, but for many of you, it's going to be the afternoon. Then we'll start to taper off those steady periods of rain after that point. So here is that what it looks like. A disjoint, see it separates. First batch goes through. GFS is actually faster than the name I'm about to show you with how fast it gets out of here. But then after that, it's disjointed. This is still going to have to move through. It's a very weak low here at this point. Not much of it, but there is some shower activity. At least in Sunday afternoon and evening, coming back into the picture for our central and southern areas before this heads off to the south. And it's going to be kind of lingering offshore here and just sitting there and spinning. See that? So our coastal areas and southeastern areas may still get into some rain in the Monday, Tuesday, maybe even Wednesday time frame. See that? And what the GFS does, it keeps, just for our eastern areas, the interior is dry that entire time on the GFS. But this is kind of sitting and lingering. So because it's sitting and lingering, you could have showers, especially towards the shore points. European model was not as aggressive holding it that long, all the way to Wednesday, but it does have intermittent periods of showers throughout that entire stretch. So let's get to today first. This is looking at 8 p.m. this evening. Everything is still south here, although it's going to be starting to creep off south and north. It's just maybe a spotty shower here before midnight, but once we get after a few hours after midnight, you get a concentration of steadier rain that's going to go into Saturday morning, and some of this could be heavy, and this is going to move off to the north. This is looking at late afternoon. Most of it is off of the north right now. Most of it is on an axis kind of north of there. There's some spotty stuff hanging around down here behind it, but most of the heavier and steadier stuff is done by mid to late afternoon as it moves off to the north and east, and then we just have maybe just a spotty shower in spots, and that's it. After that point, maybe some stuff overnight too as well, late in the overnight, coming into our eastern sections. But this low, which is out here in over West Virginia, is still going to have to move eastward and come through our area, and we think it does so on Sunday. So this is what we're looking for total rainfall for this entire event. The entire event. This goes through all the way through Wednesday here. So this is looking at generally on the GFS anyway, we're 3/4 of an inch to an inch for most areas. As you get down here by central New Jersey, interior New Jersey, and central New Jersey, you're a little over an inch there, maybe an inch and a quarter. It's really down to the shore points that are going to get into the rain that's going to be noteworthy, where it's going to be, in these areas. Everywhere south of here is where the rain is 1.5 inches, 2 inches, 2.5 inches. So there's going to be some pretty decent rain further south. But I think we're just going to get it from that initial push that's coming in tonight, as for the most part, for most of our region, especially when you get up these areas across northeast PA, north central PA, they really aren't going to get too much out of this. Some shower activity with this stuff coming in overnight, but that's it. And then after that, the stuff that comes in Sunday is probably further south from you, it looks like. But again, we're going to re-examine this in the next video here for the weekend, which we're going to do next. And then we'll go back to the... I'm going to take a look at the the European model here real quick, just show you what this is doing. Again, it's disjoining. The first batch goes through tonight and tomorrow. Low is remaining over West Virginia here at this point. On Sunday, it starts to move a little bit eastward, and you get some shower activity in our central and southern areas in association with this on Sunday afternoon. And this goes into maybe some part of the overnight for eastern areas. And again, that low is just going to kind of sit there and hang out there for a couple days. And it could affect our eastern areas, our eastern and southeastern areas, Delaware, coastal New Jersey. That's what we're looking at for early next week, it looks like right now. So it's trending better for the interior for early next week, not so much when you go farther south and east. This could be something that's going to be just kind of meandering for a couple of days and becoming a pain in the you-know-what, right? So this is going to finally move away, and then at the end of the week next week, so we're going to turn mostly sunny on Wednesday in the interior. Again, we're going to have to watch how close that low is here to our eastern areas on Wednesday to see if there's any lingering showers in Wednesday also. And then partly cloudy Thursday because we have this cold front moving through toward the region. That's going to give us some showers maybe in the overnight period Thursday night, and that cold front is going to lower temperatures considerably once we get beyond it for Friday. So temperatures here for the next several days are going to be, today's going to be in the 60s across the region. Tomorrow, upper 50s to low 60s, but I think most of us are going to be generally, once we get to Saturday, Sunday, Monday, or kind of like 60, 62-ish, 64, somewhere in that range there. And then once we get to Wednesday and Thursday of next week, ahead of that cold front, it's going to warm up into the upper 60s near 70 temporarily, because on the other side of that, Friday through next weekend is going to be a lot cooler. I'm EPAWA meteorologist Bobby Marchers. That is your outlook for September 30th, 2022. Have a great Friday.